Sing us a song tonight. 'Cause we're all in the mood for a melody. I hope you are, but the right melody. I know that's what you're saying. You got us feeling, all right? All right. It's 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man, he's sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He said, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Now John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. He gets me my drinks for free, and he's quick with a joke, or he'll light up your smoke, but there's some place that he'd rather be. Oh, he said, John, I believe this is killing me, as the smile ran away from his face. Oh, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Now Paul, he's the real estate novelist who never had time for a wife. And he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy and probably will be for life. Oh, and the waitress is practicing politics as the businessman slowly gets stoned. Oh, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la la. Oh, and sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. It's a pretty good crowd for a Sunday.
It is. It is.
Whatever. One of those notes. Just select it. Okay?
Pick a note.
You pick
Any
a
note will
note.
do. Any
Yeah.
note will do.
And the manager, well, there she is. She gives me a smile.
I do. Give everyone
I like
else
that
a smile
jacket.
too.
Can I just say,
Thank you.
I am really in love with that jacket. She wears these kind of really, really trendy white shoes, pumps I would think they would call, trainers. And people think, do you know, it's incredible that she's a lot younger than she is. It does the trick, doesn't it, Sue?
You're sailing very close to the wind very early on in the evening.
I'm just saying, and what a beautiful and what a lovely thing she is too. That's right from...
That's it, from Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
A lovely thing she is too. Anyway, lovely thing you are. You had a good week? You all right?
I've had a good week, actually.
You've buried how many people this week? I tell you.
One person and one set of ashes.
Oh.
It's a funny way to earn a living, I tell you.
But she's
it's
good
a privilege. It's a privilege, but it does feel a bit strange.
But as I often say, do not stand too close to her. Certainly do not lie down. She will say words over you.
Don't stand too still.
Don't stand so still for me. I think actually that Sue, it's been a tough week, hasn't it? Really, one way or another.
Yeah, it's just been
long,
a bit full on, really.
And sadly, what happened was we ended up thinking, well, we're looking forward to Sue and Aldi finally coming to the studio because she hasn't been in for a few months. And Sue, who is a favourite of yours on the community, I know, unfortunately, and I have to just read out something that she wrote to me while I'm thinking about it, and she asks for your prayers. I hope I've got the right one here. Here we go. And she wrote and asked me to say this. It is truly hard, and right now I have to put the shepherd cloak round me. Just say, my associate pastor's 4-month-old daughter passed away on Tuesday. A total shock. She just stopped breathing, and my focus and resources are caring for them and the church as we go through this grief together. Thanks so much, and I will miss you guys a lot. So that's a tricky time, and
hard.
She's affected deeply by it naturally. And there was obviously no question she couldn't possibly come in because she's involved in pastoral care.
We'll have her another time.
But another time she'll come back in. But then I was thinking, well, we'll just do the show. And I thought of a number of people locally that we could, draw in and just do kind of another interview with. And then a friend phoned me late last night, or contacted me last night. I said, do you know where I am? I'm in West Horsley, which is not far from where we live here in Guildford. And he said, he's David Hicks out there in the community. And he said, I'm at West Horsley. He said, I'm listening to the most fantastic evening with, he said, people are loving it. And who could tell, apparently. But there's difficult. And I thought, well, okay, that's fine. He said, I was just thinking, you haven't got Sue. Why don't you ask Jeff? Well, Jeff Lucas, ladies and gentlemen, has been a favourite here since the beginning of the shows, 129 years, three and a quarter years ago now, and one BBC award later, and we love having back in the room. Big round of applause, please, for the wonderful, the marvellous, the author, the writer, the speaker, the everything, and the generally good bloke.
And friend.
Jeff Lucas. Come on, give him a round of applause. Way, that's right.
Really
Jeff,
nice to be here. Yeah, I mean, actually, I've never been here, obviously, in person
in
before.
This massive room. It's
in
huge,
this massive palatial mansion.
I know.
And
people don't believe us. They don't believe us that it's this big.
I mean, the Steinway room, I've often wondered what it was actually like.
Yeah.
And it's actually mostly full of highly technical gizmos, isn't it? One of which, I've just got to say, Jonathan and Sue, I'm seeing an image of myself on a monitor.
Yeah.
And there's this old bloke.
Yes.
And I'm like, because I see, like yourself, I used to have hair.
Yes.
And now it's...
You did last time I saw you.
Well, it's getting worse. And now it's a shrinking peninsula. It used to be...
That's a good phrase.
It is. I mean, I used to have Florida up here.
You did.
Now I got the Isle of Man. It is really, really bad. But so nice to actually see you both in person. Seriously, because we go back 400 years or something.
We do, at least. It's at least to the 1780s.
Yeah.
And we had wonderful times together, worked together. I laughed at you. You sometimes laughed at me, and
well, I felt like I needed to reciprocate. Really,
be kind.
You're doing me a favour, so absolutely.
But Jeff, it is. I think gosh, it's been a long time. You contributed quite a lot during those early days, and you came on and talked about your what's the book in Babylon?
Singing in Babylon, with a memorable title.
Singing.
Yeah.
I thought you would think I'd remember that one, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But I'm useless like this. We were so moved by that book, and it was actually so moved by the idea of the book. But it's been a tough few years, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. And writing a book with the subtitle Finding Purpose in Life's Second Choices, that's a fantastic thought as a theory. But I didn't actually think that I was, apart from alongside everybody navigating the pandemic, this apocalyptic event, which I still think we've not fully processed, really. It was like a Bruce Willis disaster movie, and Brucey never came to rescue us. It was totally weird. But just various circumstances lining up. Life is what you get when you expected something else. And certainly that's been my experience. Not to tell a sob story, but yes, it has been a difficult time.
No, but I think actually sob stories, I'm quite a believer in sob stories being told. I think actually sob stories often need to be told. It's a bit, for me, when the stories are not told. I mean, I think it was who was it? Alan Bennett, who said untold stories.
Yeah.
And the untold stories are usually the interesting ones for me.
Yeah.
And the sob stories are part of those that we experience, and that if you don't tell them, I feel that it's like children telling a child to go and tidy its room. So what they do is they stuff everything under the bed until the bed is 6 foot high.
Yeah.
And actually it has to come out. So I love what we love about, and I think people out there in community, I was going to call it in JV land. It sounds like Moses, doesn't it? My people. I don't mean that.
Sounds very good.
Very good. Yes, but it's very pretentious. But what they loved about you, not only that you were funny, but you told the truth. I think you're, and that's what I've always loved about you personally as a friend, is that you invariably tell the truth, however hard that is. And you looked at life honestly. I mean, is that something that...
Yeah, I mean, we follow the one who calls himself the truth. So it's sort of helpful, isn't it, if we say things as they are. And I think sometimes people look at Christian leaders, they see them on platforms, whether it's you with music or it's me, thank God, not with music. Because when I sing, people cry out to God.
But you started playing. No, they don't. You were in a guitar. Understood that you used to do it like everybody.
Yeah. But somebody helpfully told me years ago that the entire Christian church globally would thank God if I would just hang up my guitar forever. Because I think sometimes you've got to find out what you can't do to find out what you can do. But anyway, I think sometimes people look at people who stand on platforms and they think that they live a charmed, or let's be a little bit more spiritual, a blessed life that excludes them from the challenges. But I remember once going to a church and popping into the loo, because Christian leaders do that, don't they?
Really?
And well, I do. I know you probably don't. And this chap came in. I was washing my hands, which is always a good idea. And this bloke looked at me and he recognised me and he said, "Hello, Jeff." He said, "I'm rather surprised to see you in here." And I'm thinking, what do you think we do? Pray about it? What is that about? The reality is that we're all ordinary. We're all ordinary. God only uses ordinary people. Nothing else is available. And in our ordinariness, we have to navigate the tough stuff of life. So I've shared before during this show that 20 years or so ago, I spent about a year in clinical depression. But Christian leaders, they do have this habit, whether it's sins of the past, or in this case, struggles of the past, it all tends to be a couple of decades ago.
Yeah.
It's something I went through, but I'm over that now. Hooray, headbutt a tambourine.
Yes.
The reality is that
Sorry, stop a minute. Headbutt tambourine.
I do believe that tambourines, I'm sorry, I think God
pit.
put that in the Psalms for a laugh. Okay. With greatest respect to tambourine players everywhere.
But could you please put them down?
Yeah,
Move
I
away
know.
from
Put
it,
them
but
down
nothing
or
to see, yeah.
play them on the beat or off the beat. But anyway, I digress. So COVID was a wrecking ball for me, and I wrote this book about second choices, and then I find myself having to navigate some of those. And I've got to say that I went through about 6 to 9 months of fairly dark depression, for which I took medication. I always want to say that because some Christians, they don't only feel bad, Jonathan and Sue, they feel bad because they feel bad.
Yeah.
And some friend who's previously been employed by Job sort of interrogates them, so you haven't got the victory, have you?
Yeah.
And so I went through this tough time, and I just want to say to anybody watching, listening to this, if you're struggling with that and some helpful believer tells you that you shouldn't take medication because it's a lack of faith, find some new friends because it's just not helpful. So yeah, it has been a tough time. A few months ago, I decided that I needed a reset in my own personal life and took up some different disciplines which have been really helpful to me. And I'm not in that place now. But people often say to me, you know, you've written, you've talked, you've preached about depression. Are you there? Actually, not right now. But I think because I think many of us in the roles that we have, we're actually quite sensitive. We're not the tough cookies. I never understood that phrase. Why is
It's a tough
a
cookie.
tough cookie? I mean,
Is
a
it
tough
one that's rotten? No.
well,
it's one that's been-
a tough cookie would be inedible, wouldn't it? So anyway, it's not important. But I think they think that we've got thick-skinned, but we actually do what we do because we really do care deeply, and so yeah, it's been a challenging time, but there is still a God,
Yes.
helpfully.
Yeah, I think you end up saying, in that giving, he gives and takes away. That sense, blessed be the name of the Lord. You end up through gritted teeth. I have to say, I've said this. You know that I've had exactly the same. I didn't take medication on the doctor's recommendation because if you do, he said, in terms of your performance, it will flatten you out and you won't be able to do the performances. You simply won't be able to do it. So I went for talking therapies for over a year. I mean, I've had two counsellors in my time, both of whom were very good for different reasons. And I remember standing up, exactly what you were saying. I stood up at Spring Harvest, and I was known as the JV. Isn't he so funny, cheeky chappy like you? Everybody's go, oh, he's great. He communicates the gospel. He's very low on it, and he's how could he? And I'd said it, and I had about 250 men queue up to talk to me. There were 4,500 people in the tent.
Yeah.
And about 5% of them said, exactly what you said. Why haven't you got the victory? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Do you not trust in God? Is there no? It's that accusative, and people around heard it, and they were saying, "I think you should step away now." You know, it was discouraged, but I thought actually, if it's only 5%, then what it showed was that men like us, quite high-performing men, and nearly everybody we knew back in the day, at university or through church, nearly every single man who was successful, did what they did, made money, whatever they were doing, each one of them has headed into, at some point, a major depression about identity or what is it for or what am I about or... I mean, in terms of your ministry, did people move away from you if you said that?
Most people ran towards that message, but I have to say that there are some churches, larger churches, particularly in the US actually, that I went to speak for them 2 or 3 times, and when I started to talk about depression, the invitation stopped. Because the brand was, we're together, we're on top of everything. And actually, it was really surprising to me. I'm thinking, really, in the day in which we live, we're actually concerned about talking about, actually, not just contemporary a contemporary issue like depression, the Bible's full of it. You've got Jeremiah cursing the day of his birth. You've got the Apostle Paul saying he felt the sentence of death in his heart. You've got
David.
Jesus. Well, you've got Jesus in Gethsemane.
Yes.
And saying, I'm overwhelmed to the point of sorrow. The word is bario. We get our word barometer from that. I'm pressed down. I'm depressed. And we've got all of this in Scripture, and yet we've got this desire. I remember when I first became a Christian 500 years ago, we used to sing, I don't know whether you remember this song. I'm not going to sing it. I am H-A-P-P-Y.
Okay, here we go. I am H-A-P-P-Y. I am H-A-P-P-Y. I know I am, I'm sure I am, I'm H-A-P-P-Y. But wait, because I am S-A-V-E-D. I am S-A-V-E-D. I know I am, I'm sure I am, I'm S-A-V-E-D. But wait, there's more. I am B-O-R-E-D. I am B... No, what?
I think that should go on your latest album, Songs the Lord Rejected. I think that would be a cracker. Another great... you probably won't know this one. It isn't any trouble just to S-M-I-L-E. No, it isn't any trouble just to S-M-I-L-E. If you pack up all your troubles, then they'll vanish like a bubble. If you only take the trouble just to S-M-I-L-E, which, let's face it, is enough to make you V-O-M-I-T. There is this sense that we've all got to be reverberating with joy all the time. Then another thing I think through this season I kind of started to grapple with is embracing the gift of disillusionment. And I don't mean that in a sort of Victor Meldrew, I don't believe it, cynicism, or going on a safari looking for something to be irritated about. But rather, when you're disillusioned, you're divested of an illusion. You face a reality and you embrace it. And I think we all need to be disillusioned about our churches. They are not filled with trophy cases and perfect people. They're filled with broken people under construction, just like us. We need to be disillusioned in our marriages, in our churches, in ourselves, because then we can face a reality. I mean, Jesus said, in this world you're going to have trouble, which is not my favorite verse, and it doesn't sit on many Christian refrigerators. It's not one that people especially like. But I think that statement drives a truck through the idea that we're just all going to be ecstatic all the time. Anyway, and when I say, there is a God, thank God for Jesus and thank God for the reality that we know. A lot of people are talking about the universe these days. Have you noticed that? Like, the universe is calling my name.
Yes.
The universe is speaking. And I'm like, there's a side of me that says, well, at least people are acknowledging something transcendent. That's great. The only thing about it, guys, is the universe doesn't make any demands. The universe doesn't call you to self-sacrifice. The universe can just be whatever you want it to be. It's the perfect idol of our times. So I find myself more and more these days, instead of simply talking broadly about God, we are talking about the unique Jesus here and the call that he has on our lives.
I think that's quite a significant statement, actually, in a time when the kind of zeitgeist is exactly this. The spirit of the age, if you want to call it, is about me and and how I am going to get fulfilled. And I basically create God in my own image. I mean, I think that's basically it, isn't it? We all become, it's that idea which is well oiled and well healed from Platonic times onwards. But Aristotle talks about it's the kind of the mini gods, the mini god in me, and I can become. Sue's quite interesting with this. You have in your burials. Can we put Sue on screen? Sue now has had about 38 funerals, and one of the things that you say to people, you ask the question: Were your people religious?
Yes, whenever I visit a family, when I'm discussing the fact that they want to have a funeral celebrant to take their funeral, I always end up talking to them about whether or not the person had a faith. And usually I get the sort of, well, no, she wasn't religious. No, there was nothing like that. But fairly soon afterwards, there is a mention of, actually, is it possible to have, I don't want to have a vicar and I don't want to have a church and I don't want to have religious stuff. but actually, could we have a hymn and could we have the Lord's Prayer? And quite often I'll say to them, well, there are a couple of other prayers that I do use, and I describe them, and one is to say thank you to the Lord for this person, and the other one is to say, please can we pray for the people who are sad? And they immediately say, actually I like those, can I have those too?
But also there's this sense of, they talk about the universe and angels and things like that. The
Yeah,
angels,
they'll
they
often-
don't believe in God, but they believe in the angels.
No, there was
Heaven. Or
they'll often say, oh, no, I don't want to have any religious stuff. But then the poems that they choose usually have angels, usually have they're up there in heaven. So there is a desire that there is an afterlife of some kind, that there isn't a nothing,
no.
that there is
But there's some
something,
kind
but
of
they don't
universal
quite
thing.
know
No.
what that might be. And it's not my job to put words into their mouths.
Do you think that's because, I think it says somewhere in the Bible, I believe, that God has placed eternity in our hearts.
Yes.
And that there is this sense, whether we try and suppress it or not, that we can't get away from the fact that we were made, and we have this hankering in our desire for that homecoming.
Yes.
Yes.
That we only happens, when we come back to Him. But it's great that you're in that place. Obviously, Sue, being able to meet people at a place of, what greater place of vulnerability is there
It's a privilege.
when you're in a grief, to have
I'm-
someone caringly come
Thank you,
alongside is absolutely amazing.
It's a real privilege, and as I said, it's a strange way to earn a living, but I am so grateful that I'm doing it. I'm
Yes,
just
and you've become
really
that
loving it.
bridge for people
Yeah.
often between the church, which they don't want to go to, and they really, really do not want. 75% of all funerals do not happen in churches anymore in this country.
Right.
So just take that figure for a moment, and I think it's represented in marriages as well, because people don't want the vicars who impose their religion. They don't understand the words that are spoken.
Well, also,
you know.
they don't feel that they have the right to go to church. They say, I haven't been to church for years, so why should I be allowed to go and do a funeral in a church? So there is this sense of, I haven't deserved this. I don't deserve this.
It's funny you should say that. Funny is not the right word, but I was just having a conversation with somebody earlier this week, quite a lengthy conversation, where we were talking about Jesus. This man that I was chatting with is not a follower of Jesus, but he told me that because over the course of his life he had to work on Sundays, and he worked hard to provide for his family, he'd never been able to do the church thing. So he didn't feel worthy at this stage of his life, and frankly at the end of his life, to actually call upon the Lord. And I was able to say to him, you know what, God is the one who comes running.
Yes.
And he's not going to hold up an attendance card in front of your face and say, well, you haven't shown up for all these years, so I'm afraid there's no place for you. Thank God for grace.
Oh, and we were leading a couple of weeks retreat, and we were talking about roads of the Bible that led to Golgotha, and I was talking about God being a surprising God. You know, that on the cross there, he's accompanied by these two guys, and in the last moment of his life, there was no baptism, there was no
Bible
anything.
reading notes.
There was no Bible reading notes. There was no attendance at a church. Anything.
Right.
He's there, and Jesus says, "Today you'll be with me in paradise." And I just think actually there's that moment that we want to limit God, but God is limitless.
Yeah.
And his attitude is not mine. Thank the Lord for that. I'm going to sing a song, and then we're going to come back. And I want to just talk a little bit about the beginnings of your life, and then you've got some stuff you want to talk to us about with the books and stuff. I know you come from Littlehampton today, or down in Sussex.
Down south somewhere.
Down south.
Yeah.
And so I'm just... I don't want to outstay your welcome here, because I don't want you to come...
I'm not sure what you're saying.
No, I
there.
don't mean that.
Is
I mean,
he
I don't want you to
outstaying
go
his
home too
welcome?
late, because
I think that was
I know you're going back to America.
That was a Christian way of saying we don't want you around too long,
I
right?
would love you to stay for the whole time. But I don't want to take the mick, and I know you've been working yesterday, and you're going to America Wednesday, is that right?
Wednesday, yeah.
Back to ministry, and it's quite tough. You've only been here a few days, haven't you?
Yeah, I've only been here for about 10 days, and I'm going to go back to another airport, which are emotional black holes, because everyone in them are only there because they want to be somewhere else.
Yes.
Think about
Fair.
that.
Good way of putting that.
I know, it's
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
Do you know what I was thinking, Rachel? Could you? I'm not in the mood to play this one. Can you do Bring Him Home on the track? I just fancied singing it with my recorded version.
And can I just say who this is for?
Yes, you can.
Chloe's mum got married yesterday. So that's Margot and Alan got married yesterday, and they asked for this particular song. But also, who else? Karen Spicer asked for it.
Excellent, that's the one. Thanks, Rachel. Bless your heart indeed. And you all know this one. This is your favourite song ever, I think, apparently. From Les Mis. And it's our version of Bring Him Home. God on high, hear my prayer. Hear my need. You have always been there. He's young, he's afraid. Let him rest. Heaven blessed. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him home. He's like the sun I might have known if God had granted me a son. The summers die one by one, how soon they fly. On and on, and I am old and will be gone. Bring him peace, bring him joy. He is young. He is only a boy. You can take, you can give. Let him be. Let him live. If I die, let me die. Let him live. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him home. was for Karen and for, who was it?
For Margot and Alan.
For Margot and Alan. Hope you enjoyed that one, people. And that's going out.
They did. They did. Lots of hearts, lots of claps.
Well, that's Alan. That's.
Don't say it.
That, chaps, was Alexa. Alexa, how are you?
Don't. Karen has asked you not to tonight because you'll wake up Heather. You're just a naughty boy, aren't you?
I didn't know you had to tell me that.
Well, that's
whenever I do it online, you see, of course, everybody's Alexa.
Because if I tell you not to do something, what do you do?
I do it.
Yes,
too. It's
exactly.
part of my ADD now.
Yes.
Back to you. When did you start this journey? I mean, you're a very old man now, and
Rude.
What?
Very rude, isn't
I'm
it?
just saying. I'm just saying. Because you got your pension, I got years to wait for mine.
How old are you then?
I'm 62. I'm not even 63. I'm 63 in a couple of months.
He's such a
I
baby.
know. I look a lot older than
Oh,
you.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah,
He looks as if he'd been getting his pension for years.
yeah.
Somebody said to me, David Goodwin, if you're watching, you said to me, you look very tired up there on the stage in wherever we were, Stoke-on-Trent last week. And it's because the lighting was...
Lovely Rachel did
It was
the
lovely
lighting.
Rachel
but
did
there
the
wasn't-
lighting, but
the
there was no
stairs-
front on my...
the
So I
stairs
looked
weren't
like I
clear
came
enough.
out of a Hammer horror movie. I mean, Bring Him Home was like this. Bring him home.
That's scary.
No.
Don't do that again. Make me nervous. Wow.
I know, I made a lot of money out of those eyes. Can I just tell you, in opera, they used to always comment on that. Now, come back to you. When your story, tell us a little, just in a potted version.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I was the kid in the RE class who used to create disruption and chaos. No Christian background at all. Headline is, Jonathan and Sue, that my RE teacher was just the most amazing, beautiful lady, a pastor's wife who didn't just tell me about Jesus, but demonstrated Jesus to me. And basically one night I prayed a prayer for healing, bit of an embarrassing prayer really, because it was for verrucas, right? I had about 20 of them on my right foot. It's never going to make a bestseller, is it? Victorious over verrucas. It's not really a cracker.
I don't know. I think
But-
actually
well,
got a lot of soul. to it.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you did with that.
See
That's
what I
good.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Just
what I did, I sort of prayed a prayer, but it was a prayer to whom it may concern. It was, and I just said, look, God, I've got these verrucas. I'm about to have them removed. I'm allergic to pain. You know that. And would you do something about it? I got up the next morning. They'd all disappeared. Freaked me out.
Days.
And so I phoned my RE teacher and said, something's happened to me. Someone stole my verrucas. And she invited me to go to her church that night, which was a baptism by immersion
Yes.
service, which looked to me like an aquatic mugging. It was like absolutely ridiculous. Innocent people were grabbed by the throat by this
Pushed down under the water.
by this guy who looked like Dracula in a long black gown. And anyway, it was that night that I heard the gospel. It was that night that I decided to follow Jesus, 17 years old. And it was that night, 2 minutes after I invited Jesus into my life, I met Kay, my wife. So I got
Wow.
Jesus and Kay the same day. However, that sounds all really nice. So isn't that marvelous? But I took a friend with me to church, and she fancied my friend and not me. But I'm over that.
Yeah. Oh, you,
So is she.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
but are you?
Well, let me just have a moment of quiet release. Yeah, all is well, and that was 40. We've been married 45 years now, and
That's good. Isn't
but you're talking about looking older and all that. Kay is often mistaken for my daughter, which doesn't help me,
No,
and
it's not good, actually. It's not good.
especially when she doesn't deny that she's not, which
Yeah.
I think is really
Well,
rude.
because can I just say that Sue does exactly that? They say, what is it? What was you were
Yes,
selling books at the back,
Yes.
records
And a
and
lady came up and said, "Are you Jonathan's daughter?" And I
So
said,
what?
"Oh, that's very astute of you."
Oh, that's a good one. That really is
She
good.
didn't deny it.
So that's how it all began for me. And then I was in ministry. Really, I went to Bible school, and
Did you do a job before you went into?
yeah, I spent. I'm laughing because I spent a year in the city working for Barclays Bank. But it's a good thing that God called me out of that, because there would have been a global financial meltdown.
Being that kind of,
And I was simply being a cashier and doing standing orders. I paid one bloke standing order to the AA, Automobile Association, not Alcoholics Anonymous,
that as well.
44 times. And he came in and said, the computer's messed this up 44 times. What should I do? And I said, you better open an account with Lloyd's, because it wasn't good. And then went to Bible school, and I was a pastor, full-time pastor of a church that we planted at 21, 22. And Kay was a senior pastor's wife at 18. It's nuts. And these lovely people, they made us feel that we actually knew something. It was marvelous. And they would smile and nod as I dispensed my veteran wisdom. You know, some of these people have been alive 4 times longer than I had. But every Sunday I was telling them how to follow Jesus, and they pretended that I knew stuff. They were just so lovely. And that's how the journey began.
Interesting journey, and you've been through many, I think, speed bumps and potholes over the years, no doubt.
Yeah.
Time of ministry, and some real highs. Many people remember you a lot from Spring Harvest, and many years. And
30 years of Spring Harvest. I mean, I still wake up occasionally in the middle of the night screaming "Shine, Jesus, shine" at the top of my voice. You know, so many.
It's my fault, by the way.
So many years. Is that? There you go. Oh, I love
the
that.
Arrangement. I arranged it for Graham.
Did you?
I worked with Graham. I was his MD for some time. You know, so I was sitting in his room in southeast London, and he came out and he said, "What do you think? I've got this new song," and it was. And you do like that, you see, and I said, "Oh no, you've got to give it a kind of doom, boom, and he said, "Well, just," so I wrote it out, and it's in the Lord, the light of your love is shining in the. So we did that, yeah.
So what about royalties? I mean, did you ever get?
I got £40. This is true. Graham paid me £40 for doing 3 arrangements. And that song became the world's, I mean, it was a Pope's favourite song, and you know, and all
it's
of that stuff.
very popular in schools still.
Still.
Sung a lot in schools. And I understand the Pope particularly liked the opening bars of the song.
Yeah,
so
I think actually...
you might want to call Kendrick and send him an invoice. Send him an invoice.
But royalties are very funny. When you do, when you're on Facebook, it's very funny. I'm not allowed to play it, because if I play it, I'll get gonged. But if I sing it, like that, für Elise by Beethoven.
Right.
And of course, you're not allowed to copyright anything once it's 200 years, well, once it's 100 years, is it? 100 years or 50, 60 years? And once it's done, you see, once you've got so classical music is, you can reproduce it however you like it, pretty much.
Right.
But somebody has marked down those 7... So 9 notes, all right? 9 notes, and they've copyrighted them. So when I played it here, I played the whole piece, you know, on the piano, and our video was silenced because somebody has copyrighted Beethoven.
That's naughty, really.
Well, but a number of people have done it. So that means you get gonged by Facebook, who has got an algorithm that does it. You see, so. Copyright it. They're collecting money. Will
you get gonged by Facebook because you've talked about getting gonged by Facebook?
It's a very possible thing. You have been, I would say, and I'm going to flatter you here because I think it's right to do so. You've been a substantial part of people's personal discipleship journey for years and years and years. You have, through Every Day with Jesus, CWR as it was, and how long did you write the Bible notes? And for those of you who don't understand, it's a set of Bible notes you read every day. And
it was Life Every Day. It wasn't Every Day with Jesus.
It was called Life with Lucas.
Life with Lucas. Sorry. Yeah. But how many years did you do that?
With CWR, I think about 17 years, and then latterly, when that came to an end, started producing this thing called Life with Lucas, which is a quarterly thing. Let me wave this in the general direction. This comes out once a quarter. And actually, Jonathan and Sue, this one's about reset and rescue. It very much comes out of what I was talking about earlier, just feeling like I needed to have a reset in my own life. But what we try to do with these as well, there are online going deepers so that you can dig a little deeper. There are video introductions to the notes on QR codes. So we try to push the technology a little bit further.
So it's available, and I want people to get hold of this. So hold it up again in front of the camera. Would you be so kind to push it towards the camera?
There it is, right there.
Life.
Yeah, and it's available by subscription. So you just go to lifewithlucas.co.uk.
It's on the screen now.
Okay. And also, if you forget that, jefflucas.org will. Is it jefflucas.org? I don't know.
Is it on there, Sue?
No, it's well, I don't know, it might be, but it's lifewithlucas.co.uk.
Lifewithlucas.co.uk, that's right. And then the other thing is, a lot of the Christian bookstores around the country are carrying them as well. But because, sadly, a lot of those in the ministry of Christian retailing are closing, and I think it's a real tragedy. But if you find that difficult, then go to the website and you can get those.
And those are crucial for people. I think still our audiences like hard copy. People are going back, ironically, to hard copy. It drives me crazy to look at something online and read it online. Sue can read a book.
Yes, I can read a book, but I prefer the sort of tactile nature of a book and so on.
Turning the page.
People said, didn't they, years ago when Kindle first came out, that the printed page was dead. But it's not proven to be true.
Not true.
You go on holiday, you sit by a pool somewhere in Southend or wherever, and you want to read something. I don't want to pick up a Kindle. I've got one. I want to pick up a book and feel that I'm working my way through it. Yeah. So we've been doing those. The other thing we've been doing, guys, is we've been taking people to Israel. To the Holy Land, and this November we're taking a group of UK-based people to Israel for 7 days, and really excited about that. It's happening in November, as I say, and we've actually got about 4 or 6 places available for that. Ooh. And so again, if you want to go to, in this case, jefflucas.org, and you feel like coming with us. We've got one person coming this time, and it's her 4th time on the same trip, which either means she is a stalker, or, which she is not, she's lovely, or she's just so enjoyed the opportunity.
Where'd you go?
See that.
What are the partners?
Well, we hit all the major sites. We're in Galilee. We sail on the Sea of Galilee. We go to Capernaum, Jesus Town. We're obviously in Jerusalem and the Garden Tomb and all of the major sites. And we do all of that. We have professional guides, and I do the Bible bits as we go around. My favorite place is the beach at Tabgha, the John 21 beach, where Jesus cooked breakfast for his friends. But we are not one of those, Moses had a cappuccino here. Let's all have a moment. We're not like that. And our guides are very honest. So there are 2 upper rooms, and there are 2 probable sites for the crucifixion and the burial of Jesus. Yes. And our guides will tell our guests that. But when you stand on the temple steps, there's only one set of temple steps, and we know he went up those to turn the tables over. So there's something powerful. And I think, and I know you've done this, you never read your Bible the same way again. Because then when you read about Capernaum, you remember walking around those ruins and standing in the ruins of that synagogue that was built above the synagogue where Jesus preached. Yeah. That's pretty amazing. Anyway, if there's anybody out there...
It's great. We were chased off the walls by some very, very Orthodox Jews. We were there with a crane camera at the BBC, and we were doing a few programmes out there, and we went there to sing the Holy City. Right. And last night I lay asleep in came a dream. So we had 3 cameras and we had all this stuff, and we were on the wall, and we were chased off for about 7 or 8. These guys going to beat the living daylights out of us. And so my memories were mixed, and I went to Gaza at that time as well, and that was something else.
Yeah, we do that. We take people into Bethlehem. And the beauty of that is they hear the passion of our Israeli tour guides.
Yes.
We then go into Bethlehem, which is occupied territory, and it's our Palestinian Christian friends. They tell their side of the story.
Yeah.
And it's not occupied territory, is it? It's Palestinian territory is what I meant to say. And it kind of messes everybody up, because I think people can go to the Holy Land and think this is all very simple, quote a few Bible verses and we've got a solution. But actually, this is not an issue. This is about people. And we very deliberately want people to hear the different sides of the political arguments and the fact that people's lives are being profoundly affected. So we love, but I got to just tell you, I got into trouble. I didn't get chased like you did, but I almost got run off by an irate Catholic priest because I went to one of the holy sites, the John 21 site, and you're not supposed to wear shorts because apparently God is not happy about your knees. And
well, that's quite clear. I don't know what your problem is.
Well, who knows? Anyway, this gentleman, this priest who was like the sentry of the site, he stopped me and he said, "You're wearing shorts, you can't come in." And I said, "Look, I've come thousands of miles to come here. I'd really like to." And he said, "Pull your shorts down over your knees."
Sorry?
So I don't want to create too much of a visual picture because you probably...
How long were your shorts?
Well, they weren't that long. All I'm saying is this did create another problem.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm already imagining it.
It did.
Yeah.
I am the
So which would they rather see?
Well, I don't know, but I am the only Christian leader in history staggering around the John 21 Tabgha breakfast site with a builder's bottom. That's all I'm saying. That is all
I
I'm
heard
saying.
you had your really good undies on. Your
Long
shorts.
shirt, maybe.
Spectacular. And can I just apologise for using the word bottom on your show? Because sometimes...
No, it's okay.
It's all right.
We're going to use it twice.
They're
Bottom.
used to Jonathan.
Well, Christians have bottoms,
I know
don't
they
they?
do. I believe they do. But this is my mother will be watching this, and the next day, and mother,
She'll be shocked.
you'll be shocked. I'm addressing you right now, and I know, but I'm going to say it. Bottom.
Bottom.
One
And
more
some
time.
Christians, it's like, well, I used to have a bottom, and then I gave my life to Jesus, and that's all behind me now. Come on, come on. I'm telling you.
You worked that one for
Come
a long
on.
time.
Yeah, we got there, didn't
Jeffrey. Okay, that's even amused my wife.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
You've done quite well there.
we? I tell you.
This will be. It's quite an exciting start. We're going next September to
We hope, yes,
do
we
a
hope
concert there, and I've interestingly, when I was there with the BBC, we didn't visit there.
Right.
We did Paternoster Church and all that kind of stuff, as well as the Mount of Olives and various other places. So we spent 4 days there. But I'm really looking forward to going there. But when I was there, it's a troubled place. I mean, it was a troubled place, as it is now, as well as a beautiful place. It's got that juxtaposition of extraordinary history, but with the claim of 3 different groups on various parts of it.
Yeah.
And you live in this tension constantly between extreme right-wing Christians for whom the Israelis can do nothing wrong, and the Jewish people and don't talk all of that, and the other side, for whom nothing that the government does right, it doesn't matter what happens, and they've made it into quite for Christians, it becomes quite a place of conflict. So how do you?
Yeah, but it doesn't stop there, because I mean, just to be really honest about it, you go to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which is right in the heart of the old city, and you've got 6 different denominational groups there who are all fighting for territory. And they've literally had riots. You've had priests slapping each other over their head with candlesticks, which is a little bit unseemly. And if you go to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, you will see a ladder on the balcony in the edifice of the church. That ladder has been there for over 130 years. It's been captured in an engraving. And the only reason no one's put the ladder away is because if they did, they'd be claiming the territory of that balcony. And the Christians would all be fighting over that balcony. So you're absolutely right. It's a macro problem politically. But actually, it does show something about human nature that, in our churches, which we think are ours, but of course are not, you move the pews, You touch the pews, they break your face. Is the situation, and this territorialism where we think we own the church that we go to, that we even, to come back to what you were saying earlier, Jonathan, God made us in his image, and ever since we've been trying to return the favor. We kind of own our church. We own God. We want to control him. So Israel, and I love going there, but it is a mirror into our own fragility and humanity.
I really, really do identify with this and see this within the churches as we visit churches across the country. I remember specifically one gig we did, I cannot remember where it is now, but in a village, and they opened the back doors of the church. And
it was hot, wasn't it?
It was hot. So they opened the back doors. So I was facing out onto the road, and I'm standing up there, or sitting, playing, or whatever, and people were going past, and the pub is just down the road. So as the pub emptied, so people would come, and one guy came in, clearly a bit the worse for wear, but wanting to see what was going on. So to their great horror and consternation of the church and the leaders who were all sitting up the front, I said, come on in. And I got down off the platform and went down to the back door, and I said, come on in, mate. I said, put your drink outside. You can't bring your drink in here. I said, but we'll talk. Why don't you come in and sit down? Sit down with me. Come and sit up here with me. So he sat next to me. Was that right? Up on the... That was right?
Did he? Possibly.
Yeah, and he came, sat next to me, and then all through the interval, we just chatted about his life, and we became in contact for years afterwards. He would just write to me and said, and he didn't... His background... The thing was that they were horrified that somebody had come in to their place. And I said, no, this is it. This is the picture. And afterwards, the vicar said, the minister said, she said, this is it, isn't it?
She said it was such a strong image.
The image was, the doors are open, people are coming in, but we don't want them to spoil our place. What if they're drunk, she said. What if they're... I said, well, then you bring them in and you sober them up, and then you tell them about Jesus. That's what you do.
Yeah.
And you treat them like human beings.
We've got to stop looking for a better class of sinner, haven't we? Really.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Our church, where I'm based in Colorado, it began to explode when a stripper called Nikki showed up. And she'd been invited by her hairdresser, who's quite an evangelist, Larry, the hairdresser. If hairdressing and evangelism goes together, because you've got a captive audience and you're armed, so it's a pretty good thing. He invited Nikki to come. She became a Christian, read the New Testament in 3 days, invited all of her friends from the strip club to her baptism. 18 of them came.
Wow.
Many of the girls dressed for work. The bouncers... with the name of the strip club on the backs of their donkey jackets. They came down the centre aisle, and some of our ladies were putting their hands over their husbands' eyes when this group showed up. But Nikki and her friends, because 11 of them became Christians that night of her baptism, but they became the catalyst for an explosion, really, in the church. But it took... I've got to commend those lovely elderly church ladies whose whole lives were shaken up. They'd never met people from that kind of background. And I remember one of them, not quite so positive, went to the leader of the church at the time and said, you've ruined this church because you've let those people come in. And his response was, I know I have. Will you help me love them? And she said, all right then. And they did. And they navigated that cataclysmic change. And it was out of that so many came to faith. Beautiful, really.
It's a great story, isn't it? And it's more than a story.
It's the reality.
Real life.
Yeah.
And it's that, actually. It's those highways and byways. And, the coming to the feast. I love this idea, first of all, of coming to the feast. And that's something else. I would love to feel that Christians in this country, they engaged on the area of food. They brought people in and fed them. They fed them, they give them a meal, and they sing a song to them, they share with them, and they talk to them, and they find out about their lives. We've got friends it's a lovely example, in Veira, and the warm space that they've created since last year, since the gas bills, etc. And Adrian Pinnock and his wife, Nicola, she's just become licensed there as a deacon. And they open the church on a Thursday evening, and now it's become not just a warm space, but your space during the summer. And they come and they give them a meal. And people just come in, 70 or 80 people. This is from a church, it's a tiny church. Suddenly, you feed them, you feed their bodies. It's that kind of
and they have
Salvation Army thing.
They have a reason to get up and a reason to go somewhere.
And they are from the highways and the byways. You know, they're not the kings, they're not the worthies. They are the unworthies. And sinners to repentance and all of that stuff that just comes to mind.
I've been really challenged about all this recently, if I can just share this, because when I first became a Christian all those years ago, Henry VIII was on the throne, life was different back then, a long time ago. I was the most nauseating evangelistic type you could meet.
Yes.
I was full on, you know, I had so many fishes on the back of my car, it looked like a mobile aquarium. It was ridiculous. And I would turn every conversation around to Jesus. Hello, Jeff, would you like a cheese sandwich? No, thank you, I've got the bread of life. How about you? It was horrible. But here's what I did, guys. I did a pendulum swing, because we're all pendulums. We think that we're balanced, but we're all in reaction to something.
Yeah.
And I went quiet, and I stopped sharing my faith in a gentle, kind way. And somebody quoted St. Francis of Assisi, normally famous for chatting with squirrels, and they misquoted him because they said that Francis said, by all means preach the gospel, if necessary use words. He didn't say that. He would visit 3 villages a day to preach the gospel. What he actually said was, if our walking doesn't match our talking, then it's in vain. But I preached that quote or that misquote. Just recently, I've been getting my voice back. A couple of weeks ago in Colorado, I spent some time with a man called Dr. Jerry Root. He's a world expert on C.S. Lewis. Brilliant guy, teaches at Oxford, all over the world. He has the most beautiful gift of being able to gently, tenderly share the love of Jesus with people. I went into a coffee shop with him. We go up to the counter. He says to the lady behind the counter, hello, what's your name? She said, it's Christy. He said, oh, did you know that your name means Christ? She said, oh, no, I'm in big trouble now. And he smiled and he said, oh, he loves you so much. And there was nothing cheesy about it. There was nothing aggressive. As a result of that, I found myself on a plane a few days ago and had a 2.5-hour conversation with a lady who told me some really intimate details of her struggles, her anger, her drug use, and we were able to talk about Jesus. And I feel like in my own life, the pendulum is coming back into the center.
Yes.
The Bible says, always be ready to give a reason for the hope that you have. And yes, to do exactly what you're describing, to give people a meal. And it doesn't mean that on the back of every act of kindness we have to preach. But I do think we need to be ready to speak up more. Because it is news.
It is.
And news needs to be told.
And I think actually this hospitality is just one of these wonderful things that warms people in. It's that Eastern sense. When we went to Ethiopia, it was that, from poverty, from the depth of poverty. We'd walk into a tent, into a little tiny hut, and from nothing, they literally had nothing. They would give us something from their nothing.
Amazing, isn't it?
And that open-heartedness. I decided... I was going to tell you this, but I think I'm going to share this because it was going to be one of those unremembered acts of love and of kindness, you know, the Wordsworth thing. But on the way to a lecture on the Royal Geographical Society on Monday with a friend, Jonathan, who's one of the trustees of our, those of you know, You've Got a Friend Trust, I got to Waterloo early, and I just thought, well, and I've never done this, and I went and I think, I'll just take a seat. I'll wait before I get to the I'll just wait 10 minutes here. I felt tired. I wasn't feeling great physically. I was worried about the diabetic appointment and all the rest of it, and I wasn't feeling good. And so I sat down, and a guy, within about 20 seconds, a guy approached me, and I could see he was dirty and probably homeless. Well, probably. And he just came at a distance and was about the distance you are from me. And he said, I'm very sorry to ask, but have you got anything that you could give me? And I said to, and I sat, and it was a moment, you know that moment when you actually hear something and it said, get him to sit next to you. So I said, come and sit next to you. Come and sit next to me. And he went, but I'm dirty, I'm horrible. I said, yeah, but I said, God doesn't see that dirtiness, not that physical. I said, you haven't had a shower for a long time. I said, I can smell that from here. But I said, do you know what? I don't care. Sit down. And I took him by the hand and shook his hand. I said, what's your name? And he said, my name's John. And I said, hi, John. My name's Jonathan. How are you doing? He said, well, not so good. And And I said, okay, tell me your story. Where did you start? And he just sat there for 20 minutes listening. And he looked at me and he said, nobody's touched me in months. Nobody's gone anywhere near me. And I said, well, I am. And I put my arm around him and I said, he's got a rucksack on. I gave him, and I said, I am. So tell me what's going on. And he said, there's a story. I'm not going to tell you a story. And then he said, and you know, he said, somebody came up to me today. He said, I've got nothing. I can't find anywhere to speak. I've got offer of a job, but I haven't got a place. Therefore, I can't get the, it's the cycle of despair for poverty. Yeah. And then he said, a man came up to me. He said he took me to the cash machine, and he said, I've got nothing at all. And he said, he took me to the cash machine. He took out £200. He looked at me, put it right in my face, and he said, now F off. And he just started crying. And I said, I want you to know that God looks on that and he despairs for you. But I said, there is hope. There's hope for you, mate. It's going to be all right. You're going to be okay. I just feel, can I just pray with you? So I just prayed with him. I've never done this before. In the middle of
Waterloo Station.
Right, Waterloo Station's a woman, Chinese lady on my left. There's another woman who didn't want to be anywhere near him, but was listening in. And I prayed for him, and I said, right. I said, it's going to be an act of generosity. Walk with me to the cash machine. And I put the card in, took out £50, and I said to him, now, I want you to use this. God is saying to you, this is your new beginning. And I want you to go and venture out and go for this. I said, you're never going to probably see me again, right? But I trust that something different is going to happen. And he started crying. He said, I can do this. I can, can't I? And I said, yes, you can. So I said, let's just pray a blessing on you now as you go, right? Prayed for him. The whole thing took about 25 minutes. And I was just so emotional at the end of it. And it just said to me, if you hear that, just don't
hear that prompt.
Don't second guess it all the time. Just go for it. And it did it. And I felt, I spoke afterwards to...
It did a lot for you,
it did a lot for me, but I thought, this is something that if we hear this, if we feel prompted, do it.
Yeah, and isn't it true? And I'm a bit worried I'm wittering on a bit because I'm sure people want to hear you sing rather than me talk.
Well, it's time for you to go home to bed. Because you should be in bed by now, shouldn't you, really?
Tucked up with my Horlicks and a concordance.
You should be concordance.
But isn't it true that when you share your faith grows?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's interesting that the early church, without radio, TV, printing presses, church buildings, whatever, back in that day, the Roman Empire, the way of the world was liberatis, which is not Liberace. Not Liberace. No, I know. It was the whole philosophy was you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I'll give to you if you can give back to me somewhere down the line. And the early church broke that pattern. And they cared for the sick and dying when plagues came. They gave. And they shared their stories as to why they gave. And I think sometimes, without, I hope, being too controversial, we're sitting around praying for and waiting for revival.
Yes.
I don't really know what that is. But actually, the reality is it's quite a lot simpler. We do need to pray.
Yeah.
We do need to look for God to break in. But a lot of times, he's breaking in as we walk to a cash machine.
Prayers with legs.
Prayers with legs, absolutely. And it's not that complicated. We can, it sounds cliche, it sounds like a slogan, but we can change the world as we do change people's worlds.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's been a challenge, and I'm hoping that I've got my voice back and that I'm going to keep it.
Well, we hope so too, Jeff, because your voice is strong, and people have been so enjoying just listening to you.
We had some good response.
We have. People have been absolutely loving it. They love it when you're talking and joking and laughing, but you just hit the spot. You just say things that really connect with people.
That's kind.
So thank you.
I want to, as he, because he's going to have to go home, and he is heading off on Wednesday.
Are you kicking me out now?
Well, you can. Do you know what? I'd love you to stay, but I don't want you to stay if you'd like to go home.
But the deal was we paid you for an hour.
Sue, you're so.
Well, thanks for sharing that, Sue.
Have you got that $5?
Yeah.
£3. Basically, I'm going to say to you, you stay as long as you want. If you don't want to stay, you can go. But I want to say, even if you don't go, then hallelujah. We've been so blessed. And I mean that by having you here. You are, and you don't know this, you were one of the few figures, that I looked up to as somebody I could admire, somebody who connected with where I was with faith, who was realistic, always funny, but always penetrating, and always coming to some conclusions that made a difference in people's lives. Your writings, you see them in toilets everywhere. And
they're very accessible.
See, he's ruined it now,
Yeah,
hasn't
always.
he? He's
Always.
ruined it, you see.
you know, please.
At least you didn't go down the I could look up to you because you were a senior statesman or
No,
something.
oh,
I
yeah,
thought you were
no.
going to go
I
down
didn't do that, did I?
path.
Did I
No,
do that?
no, I don't
Although
think-
I have to say, because you're a senior statesman, I do look up to you. Did I say, was that the same thing?
I wonder what a senior statesman is.
I suppose.
I'm like, what is an international speaker? Does that mean you've been to Calais?
Yeah.
Or you've been on
Or the Isle of Wight, indeed.
or the Isle of Wight?
Yeah.
But I am going to take off in a little while, and you're going to probably sing something, aren't
Well,
you?
I'll sing something.
I'm not taking off because you're going to sing something, just to be clear.
Although-
But, without sounding like a mutual appreciation society here, I know that what you're doing here, birthed in this room, has been and continues to be a real lifeline for people. And in the dark days of COVID, where, let's face it, we didn't know what was ahead of us.
No.
We didn't know whether we were, and it was, what was horrendous enough, but we were staring at an abyss. And I know that what you guys did and continue to do has really made a difference, which is why you've still got this great audience that love and respect what you do. I also just want to say that it is the gift, the gifts that you bring, mingled with the fragility that you share. That is a dynamic combination. Combination
Congregation as well.
I write books, you'd never know
it's
it, would
incredible.
you? Yeah.
Your word power is just.
But anyway, thank you for that,
Thank you for saying
and
that,
keep
that's-
doing that. And you haven't asked me to say this, but just to the community that is out there, in whatever way, by prayer, by support, that you can continue to get behind all that is going on here. Please do that, because I know that for so many, they're sitting up way past their bedtime. I mean, all good Christians should be in bed right now, but they're sitting up or they're joining us again later in the week,
Yes.
because they appreciate not only the voice, but they appreciate the heart and the sense of community there is. So enough of that, but
Well,
thank you.
we've missed you. We know your voice is back. Okay, and thank you for being your own fragility. I think that's probably why we get on together, because we've both been through that stuff mentally, and we've come out the other side. But we always know it when I say it stalks us, you know what I mean. Things can happen, and there are days when I wake up and I think, like that, and I do. And health being what it is, it's so fragile, and these days. And we think actually today of, I don't know whether you know, Raul de Oliveira. He was a trumpeter. Remember Raul? He played for years. He's now in hospital. He's had multiple strokes, and he's played on nearly all of my records over the years.
Amazing guy.
An amazing guy, an amazing musician, an amazing prophetic edge that he has in his playing. And it's just a beautiful, not only technically, but just in terms of his heart. Always has a heart for stuff. And Raoul, for those of you who don't know him, he's out there, and we pray for him tonight. And I know you'll hold him in your prayers in Red Hill Hospital. But we thank you for coming in. We're going to play a video. If you want to stay, you can stay. If you want to go, you're going to go. But here, just while I'm here, don't forget, there are loads of his books online. This one was given to me was bought for me last night by David Hicks, bless him. And he said, and Jeff signed it, "Jonathan, let's get together." God bless Jeff. So, do you know what, Jeff?
I didn't think it'd be that quick. Now, I just need to say, before I go, I am going to go, but it's not because you're going to sing again, because I love your singing, but the bathroom is calling, and I have tried praying about it, but that's not working. So we have to be a bit more practical. But thanks for having me.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank those gentlemen. Big hearts, everything else. Let's see them all. And thank Jeff. And buy his books. Thank him even more by buying them online. This one is Things My Grandchildren Taught Me, and many other books. Remember the Bible reading notes. And don't forget Israel. If you'd like to do that, 4 or 6 places, then contact him and jefflucas.org. All the numbers and details are up there. We look forward to you coming again. Here's a video that we made called Fields of Gold.
You remember me when the west wind moves upon the fields of barley. You'll forget the sun in his jealous sky as we walk in fields of gold. So she took her love for to gaze awhile upon the fields of barley. In his arms she fell as her hair came down among the fields of gold. Will you stay with me? Will you be my love? Among the fields of barley, we'll forget the sun in his jealous sky as we lie in fields of gold. I never made promises lightly. There have been some that I've broken, but I swear, in the days still left, you'll walk in fields of gold. We'll walk in fields of There have been some that I've broken. Oh, but I swear, in the days still left, we'll walk in fields of gold. We will walk in fields of gold. Many years have passed lost since those summer days among the fields of barley. See the children run as the sun goes down among the fields of gold. You remember me when the west wind moves upon the fields of barley. You can tell the sun in his jealous sky when we walk in the fields of gold. When we walk in fields of gold. When we walk in fields of
And so, thank you so much for that. Thank you, Rachel, for that video. It's superb. Filmed in Kentmere.
Yes.
And like this, and up in the Lake District, and one of the secret, wonderful places in the Lake District. Now, look, everybody, I think you enjoyed him coming in there, and I thank you. We've just blessed him and sent him on his way, and you know, it's great to see vulnerable leaders. Great to see people. That's why I got on with him so well over many years, and why we worked together actually, because it was a way where we could bounce off each other. We weren't trying to be funnier than the other one.
No.
It was always complimentary.
Mutual respect.
It was. But one of the things we want you to do for us tonight, and this is just a little break before I sing a song and take some drugs and things. When you say drugs, I mean I don't mean drugs. I don't mean that kind of drug, not that or even that kind of drug. We're not going to do that one.
I have to say, the thought of Jonathan on drugs is terrifying.
A man with ADD doing that. Anyway, bless you, David Hicks, for suggesting that.
What
a great idea.
Really good.
How it's come up brilliantly. And
Fantastic.
I hope it's encouraged you and built you up and given you a good way to go into the week.
You've got this YouTube thing on the screen. So explain why it's on the screen.
Right, now, it's up there because, ladies and gentlemen, this could be the night, and I want it to be the night, please. Now, YouTube, we have 990 subscribers. If we get 1,000, we get particular privileges that happen on YouTube, and it will mean that it will be better for you and better for us. By which I do not mean we will get money. I'm just saying that it will be a better experience overall. You can talk to Rachel or Claire about this, or Ben, but that's the details. But what we need you to do now is we want you to like, subscribe, and ring the bell.
Subscribe.
Sorry?
Click like
and subscribe. And that becomes, now you can do it from any multiple, if you have a number of
it's an email address. So if you've got several email addresses, you can use every one. It doesn't matter. So it doesn't cost you a penny.
Not a penny.
But it means that you will get notified if and when we put up these lovely videos that Rachel's making for us, and they're stunning, and you'll get to know as soon as she puts them up.
And other notifications. Things that are going on, events that are going down, and things like that. So if you do that, we would be very glad. And I'd like you to do it now. I'd like you to do it right now, rather than, well, I'll do it later, because you won't do it later. I know that's the way we work. We go, yeah, no, forgotten. So if you go to if you're on your device, if you haven't registered, just literally click like, subscribe. Click like, subscribe. Do it now. Are you doing it? Click like, subscribe. We should be able to increase our likes to 1,000. It is a major thing. It's taken Rachel years to get to this point. And click like, subscribe.
We're on
Come on.
991. Come on, people.
Come on,
you can
people.
do this.
Build it up to the 1,000. Come on. Click, like, subscribe. Find it on your device. Click, like, subscribe, and get that up tonight by the time 10 o'clock hits.
Yeah, we'll come back to it, see how you're doing.
See how you're doing. Right, I'm going to sing a song.
Good.
And this is for Raoul, actually, and the people who have listened to his music on all of my albums. He plays flugelhorn, and those of you who know about the flugelhorn. This one goes way back to the album All That Matters. He's played on the recent lockdown albums. But the tone is beautiful. And I think I've sung this recently. It's called In the Calm of Your Presence. So use this time to just reflect and chill out.
In the calm of your presence, I am listening, Lord. I am still, I am quiet, I am yours. In the calm of your presence, I am listening, Lord. I am still, I am quiet, I am yours. Let your words speak to me. Let your spirit draw near. I will obey the truth that I hear, that I hear. In the calm of your presence, I am listening, Lord. I am still, I am quiet, I am yours. There's a thirst in my soul for your wisdom divine. I long for the peace and life that I find.
Play it for me, my brother. Pray for us now.
There's a thirst in my soul for your wisdom divine. I long for peace and life that I find. In the calm of your presence, I'm listening, Lord. I am still, I am quiet, I am yours. I am still, I'm quiet, I'm yours. I'm so still, quiet. I'm yours. I am yours. I am
The inimitable sound of Raul d'Oliveira on flugelhorn. You can find him on all of my albums, not all of them, but very many of them. Early ones, later ones, a lip, an embouchure that is quite extraordinary.
He's such an astonishing musician, actually.
Oh,
and,
he is. But a great,
just,
lovely, gracious man.
Yeah, he is. He's a delight. Absolutely.
And
delight.
so I think I'm going to have to find a time to go and visit him.
Visit him
I
in
will
hospital.
definitely.
That'd be good.
Anyway, that's him. I think, what should I do next? I fancy something
Quick.
on the piano. So we're going to just get through quite a lot
We're
tonight.
up to 997 people. Only another 3 winners.
3 to go. Yes, come on.
Come on.
You can do this. Click, like, subscribe. Get to that 1,000 and suddenly the bells will ring. I'm sure that Rachel has got a congratulations ready. If you haven't, Rachel, it's time to do it right now. 3 to go. You can do it before the end of the show. Right. Let's get those 10 up. Come on.
Come on, what's she going to sing?
This one. This is for Sue Stoker and her mum, I sung this.
I'd also like to dedicate this for Cindy Hill. It's your birthday today, my dear. I don't think it's been quite the birthday that you wanted, but we love you and we want to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. It's you must go, and I must abide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow, and I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so. But when ye come and all the flowers are dying, if I am dead, as dead I will maybe, you'll come and find
place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me, and I shall hear those soft you tread above me, and all my grave will warmer, sweeter be. For you will and tell me that you love me, and I shall sleep in peace until you come to
Bless you. You were singing that so beautifully, so beautifully. And Rachel's turning herself inside out because she just reached 1,000.
No! Yes!
So thank
People!
you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rachel, can I just tell you that Rachel is like a child who can now go into the toy shop. She's had her nose pressed against the window for so long.
You have to understand, the algorithm that predicts this predicted that it would take us 19 more days to reach that figure. Right? 19. And I said, let me at them, and they're going to be brilliant. And sure enough, you were. And what can I say?
What
That's
can I
the
say?
Was it
Thank you,
1,001 or is
thank you,
it 1,000?
At the moment, it's 1,000.
That will do.
But Rachel's sending all her love to everyone. She's
Excellent. And Rachel,
really
can you
happy.
just get on with it? And let's just play Just Around the Bend. And this one is for Chris and Val. If I can remember how it goes,
So
it's been a
glad
long
that you're
time
home,
going
Chris,
around.
And you've got Val looking after you. Nice to have you here with us, Val.
So remember this one, lovely song, Optimism. It was lovely having them, and I forgot that Lynn asked me to mention in front of him, and I forgot it completely. So sorry, Lynn. There's so many things going on. But anyway, here we go. Been a long time traveling down this hard and rocky road. We're all just trying to survive. Walking together and sharing the load. Doing all we can to stay alive. I believe the journey's nearly over. I believe these troubled times will end. I believe we'll find a better place just around the bend. That's right. Remember this one? During lockdown? And here we are. We may be weary, and sometimes we just don't know how we can keep on keeping on. Well, take one day at a time and trust that history will show. When we're united, we are strong. I believe the journey is nearly over. I believe these troubled times will end. I believe we'll find a better place just around the bend. So take care of each other, for we all need the hope that heals, the love that mends. Even when the darkness is as far as we can see, the sun will shine again somewhere just around the bend. around the bend. Sing it along if you like. So take care of each other. So take care of each other, for we all need a hope that heals, a love that mends. Even when the darkness is as far as we can see, the sun will shine again, I believe, just around the bend. Just around the bend. I believe the journey's nearly over.
The journey's nearly over.
I believe these troubled times will end.
I believe these troubled times will end.
I believe we'll find a better place just around the bend. I believe we'll find a better place just around the bend. Just around the bend. That's a lovely one. I want to sing a song now, actually, for Ruth Southcombe. And Ruth, you wrote to me asking for a song that I didn't know, and we've had a kind of turmoil of various things happening in the house today, and I couldn't learn it in time. But what I want to do is one for you, actually, and that one was a little bit, even when the darkness, as far as we can see, you lost your lovely Peter not long ago, and we couldn't get to the funeral. We were ill. Well, we were away, and I was wanted to come, but then I got COVID anyway, so couldn't have been there. And I want to do this one for you. This is the promise of His grace, and I sung it really yesterday for Nicola Pinnock, who loves the phrase.
Humanness.
No, it's not that one. Let me just find it, because I can never remember it.
We were at
through the years, eternal God, your love comes down to lead us on. So as we walk, every step is holy ground. Go on, you were.
Yeah, we were up at the cathedral yesterday to see Nicola being ordained, and it was such a special time, and it was a joy to see her just taking that step, and to be part of that journey with her was very significant.
With the organist, who clearly was out of time.
He had a bus to catch.
I've never ever known anybody play so fast in all my life. Love divine. Love divine, oh love's excelling. He did. Love divine, oh love's excelling. And he also opened up the trumpets at the back where we were sitting. And I've never seen 150 people in front of me literally jump out of their skins. It was hilarious, but it was a lovely service. And
it was a lovely service.
What's the point? It was great watching you, Nicola.
Yeah, it certainly was.
So this one, Promise of His Grace, on the backing track. Thank you very much. Across the changes through the years, eternal God, your love comes down to lead us on. So as we walk with you, our every step is holy ground. You are the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. I love this little melody. It's in D flat, isn't it? And we will seek to know you more in every word of every prayer, and you will keep your timeless faithfulness to every breath. You will be there. You are the God of endless love, Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. Now in harmony, everybody. You ready? If doubts and fears come closing in, they will. We lean on you when strength may fail. And Father God, you pour your spirit down. The clouds will clear, the truth prevail. You are the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. This is the hope for all the world. The nails that held God in our place. This is the love that brings forgiveness. This is the promise. This is the promise. This is the promise of His grace. Thank you to Paul Field for helping me write that song. These were his lyrics. It was my tune, his lyrics, and I think actually it's a winner. Like the last one we just did. You know, there's so many of his stuff that I still do, and it's just around the bend. You know, such a great wordsmith. We've got, I think you want to do some adverts?
I'll do quick notices.
And I've got to do a couple of
very
songs.
much, but I do just want to go over some of the tour dates because it's all getting very exciting out there. The numbers are building up very nicely for St Mary's Church in Fordingbridge, and I know Anne left a message on the stream just earlier saying it would be lovely to see some more of the community at Fordingbridge on the 7th of October. It's going to be such a great evening, and we are looking forward to seeing so many of you. Likewise, the 21st of October, we're in Bude. So if you are away down that way, or you live down near there, or whatever, come along and join us at Bude Methodist. It's always a great event there. And on the 28th, we are up. Sorry?
What about the new one that we've got today?
Yeah, all right. Honestly, doesn't give me a moment, does he? Right. So then on the 28th, we've got Stoneleigh, which is up in Surrey area, and that's on the 28th of October. Going to be another great evening. In November, we are doing a Sunday morning at New Springs in Loughborough, and then on the 25th, we have our first of our four Christmas events.
Yes, fantastic.
So Chesterfield on the 25th, Pett near Hastings on the 2nd, then Camelford on the 8th
today.
And then on the 9th we are back at Paignton. So fantastic that we've got 4 Christmas events planned for this December.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
That's not a sign for you to start singing
Just,
Christmas songs. Thank you very much. If you need to contact me about any of these events, please do so on sue@jonathanveira.com. If you would like to know more about how to put on an event, then please contact me on sue@jonathanveira.com. I would love to talk to you. If you have the smidge of an idea that you would like to put something on, I've got lots of resources that will help you, that you're not doing it on your own. And they are great events. We had such a wonderful time last week at Stoke, and I'm hoping that we got lots of people watching who were there on Saturday night, because we had such a great time. It was really a fun time.
And if you're there and you haven't clicked like and subscribe, make it more than 1,000. Come on.
Yes, because Rachel's just told me, she said we need to keep those numbers up. If we drop below 1,000, then she loses all her toys. So, we can't.
Don't unsubscribe.
Don't unsubscribe, just keep going. We have a lovely lineup for the next Steinway rooms. For those of you who don't know where to find this, at the top of the JV community page, we always pin the list of what the dates are, because we know that it confuses you a bit, that we keep chopping and changing. The next one will be the 15th. That will be with Carl Beach. In November, we are on the 5th and the 12th. We have Matt Weeks, who's a lovely musician, and then Bev Sage and Errol Kennedy joining us on the 12th. Then in December, we have the lovely Mark Edwards in with us on the 3rd, and we will have our recorded carols on YouTube on the 17th. So, what can I say? Just going to be a marvellous autumn of shows and Steinway Room. I think that's it. I think Jonathan needs to sing again.
Still you speak, if only we would listen. Through the noise and chaos of our days, Lord, give us time to fix our minds on you and hear what you would say. Still you speak, if only we would listen. Through the wars and conflicts of our time, Lord, if each day we'd kneel and pray to you, what wisdom we could find. Word of life, voice for every season, song of love for all our days. Still you speak, if only we would listen and obey. Still you speak, if only we would listen. Through the years that come and go so fast, Lord, may your ways shape all our days until we see your face at last. Lord, a voice for every season, song of love for all our days. Blood of life, voice for every season, song of love for all our days. Still you speak, if only we would listen and obey.
I'd like to sing It Is Well. Let's put it on the backing track for this. That was for Linda's grandchildren.
That was Linda Marshall's grandchildren, whose birthdays are this week, and this one is for Michael Cooper and for dear P in hospital.
When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well, it is well my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. I seen all the bliss of this glorious thought. My sin, not in part, but the whole, is nailed to the cross, and I bear it no more. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, oh my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. And Lord, haste the day when my faith shall be sight. The clouds be rolled back as a scroll. The trumpet shall sound, and the Lord shall descend. Even so, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. When peace like a river when peace like a river Michael, you're going through a lot at the moment. I know, so much treatment, so much pain often, that's really hard. We're going to finish, well, probably one more song, I think, actually. It's 22, it's 10 past, but we started slightly late. I just want to thank you also for your generosity. We asked you a few weeks ago so we can bless the people that come in. They're all full-time workers. They're all people who are full-time in music or full-time in ministry or full-time. And so we like to give them,
and they are blessed,
some money,
and they're blessed by your kindness.
And they are.
So that's
thank you
very
for
special.
that.
So
That
thank you
meant a
very
lot.
much.
I haven't done so many. I'd like to do. Can we just finish with an up one for Adrian, who asked for this? To God be the glory. Can we do that? Yeah, thank you. Gosh, she's there on the ball, isn't she?
She's tails up.
Oh yes, she's got 1,000. If she's anybody's.
1,001 now.
To God be the glory, great things He has done. So loved He the world that He gave us His Son, who yielded His life and atonement for sin and opened life gates that all may go in.
So praise to the Lord. Let the earth hear his voice. Oh, praise to the Lord. Let the people rejoice. Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the Son and give him glory. Great things he has done. Oh, give him glory. Great things he has done. Oh, perfect redemption, the purchase of blood. To every believer, the promise of God. The vilest offender who truly believes, from Jesus a pardon received. So praise to the Lord. Let the earth hear his voice. Oh, praise to the Lord. Let the people rejoice. Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the Son and give him glory. Great things he has done. Oh, give him glory. Great things he has done. Great things he has taught us, great things he has done, and great our rejoicing through Jesus the Son. The purer and the higher and greater will be our sense of wonder when Jesus we see. So praise to the Lord. Let the earth hear his voice. Oh, praise to the Lord. Let the people rejoice. Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the Son and give him glory. Great things he has done. Oh, give him glory. Great things he has done. So praise to the Lord. Let the people hear his voice. Oh, praise to the Lord. Let the people rejoice. Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the Son and give him glory. Great things he has done. Oh, give him glory. Great things he has done. That one I haven't played since we played it.
I have
Yes.
memories of singing it at Thornley with
That's
everyone.
right. All
That
those
was
people
such
there.
a joy to hear them just joining in every day.
And all we've got to sing.
And,
To God be the glory. To God be the glory. You sing that. To God be the glory. To God be. You keep saying glory. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. Oh, to God be the glory. Glory. To God be the glory. Bam, ba-dum, da-dum, dum, dum. And that one is available, just in case you care, on Hymns Project 1. A lovely, I wrote that tune on this very piano. There we go. You've been a fantastic audience. Thank you so
have
much. You've missed
indeed.
out a couple of songs, Oceans tonight, for Moira.
so
Moira
sorry,
will do that
Moira,
next
and
time.
it was for your big birthday, so we'll put it straight into the following
Next
week,
one.
if that's all right
the
with
big
you.
birthday. When is it? When's the big birthday?
On the 6th, so it's next Saturday.
Next big birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Moira. That's a lovely name, that. Happy birthday to you. I know, just a musical expert.
thank you for coming in. And I'm just going to sing just one song, I think. We're going to do The Lord Bless You and Keep You, and we're going to go home because it's late. Thank you so much for attending. We hope you've enjoyed tonight. Come back again on the 15th when we've got an evangelist, a speaker. He's a man who's going through some really tough stuff, illness-wise.
He's got some interesting things to say.
And he's a major figure within the church. But he's got a different take on stuff, and it's going to be challenging. I'm telling you that right now. So if you come, put your belts on and brace yourselves. But a great friend and works alongside Steve Legg quite a lot. And I've never worked with him, but we've been talking online, and he seems like the most lovely guy. Carl Beach, look him up online, and you'll see him. Carl Beach, Beech. Okay, we're going to sing The Lord Bless You to the backing track. Is that all right? Can we put that on? And that will be our lot for tonight. I hope we can do that one. Can we split it out? There we go.
Of course she can.
Bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you his peace, and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. Lord bless you and keep you, and be gracious to you, and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you his peace, and give you his peace. To all of those of you who've not mentioned, we're sorry, but we hope you have a good week, good couple of weeks. We're out next week in Fordingbridge. We hope to see you there.
Yep.
And be there or be square. Have a good week.
Have a good week, everyone. Love you lots. Thank you for joining us.
And thank you to Rachel and Claire and Ben. God bless you.
1002.
Good night.